What is going on, buddy? Welcome back to All Things Film, and welcome to my last review of The Walking Dead Season 8. Yes, the Season 8 finale, it is here, it is done, and this episode was huge. It hit me right in the feels. It was the end of a huge all-out war, and I'll talk all about it in this review. Before I do begin, however, I'll give a spoiler warning in case you aren't caught up with The Walking Dead Season 8, but other than that, let's begin. Oh my goodness, where do I begin? Okay, let's start off with talking about, the flashbacks with Rick and Carl, because I love those flashbacks, man. Oh my god, those hit me right in the feels. It was so nice and beautiful, and a lot of this episode was like really shot. Like the cinematography was great. It was beautiful scenes. That's what I like about The Walking Dead too. They're really good with their where they shoot and film. They're really nice places, and that's probably due to Atlanta, Georgia being a really beautiful place. But that being said, I love those flashbacks. Obviously, it wasn't the real Carl. It wasn't Chandler Riggs, but I still liked it. And it was just so sad seeing little Carl, and he looked like really young, like younger than season 1 Carl. Like he looked like maybe around 5 or 6 years old. I don't know, maybe because he was in the distance. I don't know, but I just loved it, and it was so nice and beautiful. And I think this season finale, I was really happy with. I know there's a lot of people. I don't know why some people were disappointed with certain stuff, but I was overall very happy with what happened. And let's talk about the big fight, because that's obviously the big thing. I mean, in this episode, we saw why Morgan left and everything, but let's talk about the huge fight, because I loved it. Oh my god, when the bullets exploded, I was going mania. I was jumping up and down like, yes, fuck yes, Eugene, I love you. I was so happy. And I was in the moment, and that's why I kind of waited a day to do my review, because I like watching it more than once. Because when I first watched it, I'm sitting there just like in awe, like, oh my god, this is beautiful. But anyways, when the bullets exploded, that was amazing. I loved it. I was so happy. Negan's hand exploding, oh my god, that was awesome. And when Dwight tackled Negan again, that was like, I just loved it. It was so nice and cool finally seeing, like, we've been winning for a while, I guess you could say, but not winning like this. Like, this is, like, the Saviors were pinned down, and I love this. Yes, the fight could have been longer, but that's not what it took out of this episode. I didn't take the fight. I didn't want to see people fight each other. I didn't want to see people punch each other to death. Like, we've been seeing that for the last 2 seasons, like, fighting and arguing. I wanted to see a nice end to a story, and that's what we saw, and I was happy with it. If you're not happy with it, leave in the comments down below what you think. And I love feedback and everything, so I'm open to opinions. But that being said, I loved when Dwight tackled Negan. I love that, and I loved when all the Saviors had their hands up, and especially Laura. She was like, "We give up, we're done, we stand down." I love that scene because it showed their weakness. After 2 seasons of being absolute dickheads, every time they stepped foot in Alexandria, stepped foot in the hilltop, stepped foot in the kingdom, whatever it was, they would just act so snobbish and dickheadish because they thought they owned the world because Negan ruled everybody. And then seeing them like, we're sorry, we stand down. Like, I don't know, something about that was like, damn, is this really happening right now? Like, I don't know. Just seeing it play out on screen was awesome, and I loved it. Let's talk a little bit about the hilltop too. I wish we got more Oceanside. They were just there. I mean, when the Saviors exploded, when they started burning from the explosions, I was like, damn, who's doing that shit? But I assumed it was this Oceanside, and I mean, I was happy with seeing Oceanside. I wish we got more of them though. Like more Aaron and more Oceanside, at least a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like that story was like probably the most incomplete of the whole season, but I understand it. I mean, it's not that important, I guess. But hopefully, I mean, we are probably gonna get more Oceanside in season 9, and I'm kind of excited for all these communities now gonna be like flourishing. It's gonna be so awesome, Oceanside, the hilltop, the kingdom. I would say the scavengers, but they're gone. The Saviors, even, like, I loved it. I mean, I'm just so happy right now. But that being said, let's move on to the Rick and Negan fight, because oh my god, this was awesome. I loved it. I mean, obviously, if you read the comics, it's a bit different from the comics. It's not exactly what happens here. But I mean, some people are disappointed that Negan didn't break Rick's leg, and I didn't look at it like that. I didn't really care if he broke his leg or not. I prefer not to. I mean, some stuff are easier to do on paper than do on television, so I understand why they want to break his leg, and it's kind of pointless. Like, what's the point of him breaking his leg? I mean, Rick's gonna win at the end anyways, right? But that being said, I liked it. I liked it. The fight, the little fight. I mean, yes, there could have been more, but again, I liked the speech. I loved Rick's speech. I did. I mean, it made me feel like it was a conclusion to not just this season, but the past 8 seasons. Like the producers have been saying that, like this season finale is like is a conclusion to the past 8 seasons, because the stuff that Rick was saying was like. So he was saying stuff from the past, like, this world is yours by right. I loved it. That was the speech he said in the beginning of season 8 and at the end of season 8. And, I mean, there's the best way I can explain it. I didn't see anything wrong with the speech, and some people were complaining about it, but I liked it. And him saying those are the people those are dead, we're alive, and him pointing to the walkers. And actually, that's a little Easter egg, because the walkers, it was a bit of an Easter egg to the comic book fans. I think it was I think it's a little Easter egg. Maybe it's not exactly the Whisperers, but it obviously was a nod to the Whisperers because they travel in huge groups. So overall, I did like it. And let's talk more about the fight. And here's the thing with Negan. He showed weakness, and that's what led to his not I was about to say his death, but he didn't die. That's what led to his loss. That's why he lost. He showed weakness. And this was a heartbreaking scene, really. It really was. And some people were still complaining, saying, why would Negan cry about hearing Carl when he was about to bash his brains in? And I'm a victim to this too. I've said that in the past as well. Why would Negan feel a little upset when he was gonna bash his brains in? I said that in the past as well, so I'm not gonna be a hypocrite, but I understand it now because I was thinking about it, and like I said, I think I said this in a previous episode or video. Negan's way of doing things is that he has to kill somebody. Like, he's obligated, he believes. Like, it's his mission. Like, he has to do it. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. He has to do it in order for people to fall in line. Like, in Negan's mind, he had to kill Carl. There was no way around it. He had to kill Carl in order to make Rick fall in line, and that's why he was gonna bash his brains in. Not that he wanted to, because he had to. So when Negan gets a little emotional when talking about Carl, I'm not like sitting there anymore saying like, weren't you gonna kill him? Like, this is BS. I mean, I truly feel for Negan a little bit, because I understand Negan thought Carl was the future. Everyone thought Carl was the future. Like, this kid was like, how old is Carl? Like, on the show, I mean, the actor is 18, but the Carl on the show, he's like 14, 15 years old. 14, 15-year-old kid doing what Carl does, like, that's amazing. Everyone knows he's going to be the future of the show. So obviously Negan wanted to keep him around and maybe even make him a lieutenant, like he said. But that's besides the point. I just quickly wanted to say that because that's why I feel about the fight. People were disappointed that, I don't know why people were disappointed that Negan was emotional, but I liked it. Seeing Negan cry like that, like, it made me sad. Like, a lot of this episode kind of made me tear up, especially Maggie's thing, which I'll talk about in a second. But him showing weakness, that little, like, Negan has never showed weakness ever. And that little 2 seconds of weakness right there, crying in front of Rick, was the end of Negan. Like, it ended him. Rick defeated Negan. Like, it was over for him. That little bit of weakness. And that shows a lot, because you can look at Rick's face. I mean, this again, another thing people are complaining about. I think maybe it's just non-comic book readers. I just see stuff people are complaining about, like, why would Rick slash Negan throw in and save his life? Like, oh my god, where was this complaining when it happened in the comics? Like, seriously, guys, I think people just, but then again, The Walking Dead is the most popular show ever, so with popularity, there is hate. So I'm not saying that people are, like, dumb. People are entitled to their opinions, and I do understand it, but, the thing is, if you actually look at it, you could see Rick's face. Like, he's looking at Negan crying, and he looks down like he doesn't want to do it. But think about it in Rick's perspective. This dude has been torturing you. This dude has ruined your life from whatever is left in your life. The world has gone to shit, and you have a little bit of hope with the people you love, the people you met. And this guy just walks into your home and just destroys it completely. Like, you have to look at it in Rick's point of view, like how much hate he has for Negan. And he's looking at this man crying in front of him, weak, and it's an impulse thing. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to do it, but it was like an impulse reaction. He just slashed his throat because he wanted Negan gone. And when he did it, you saw, like, he was like, oh my god, like, what have I done? Like, that's the thing about Andrew Lincoln. Like, his facial expressions, his eyes, like, he's amazing. That's another thing I want to talk about. The acting was amazing. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Andrew Lincoln, oh my god, that scene when they were arguing and fighting, and that was the acting is phenomenal. Like, again, like I said, I think I said in a previous video, it's amazes me how Andrew Lincoln has never been nominated for an Emmy or a Golden Globe or anything like that. Like really, like this dude needs some more recognition. But whatever. That being said, I'm gonna talk about everything because this video is already running pretty long, so I gotta make this quick. Yeah, Jeffrey D. Morgan too, and then Lauren Cohan too. I think everybody, a lot of the cast in The Walking Dead, they don't get the recognition they deserve. Like Lauren Cohan, when Maggie said, or excuse me, when Rick said save him and Maggie started crying, oh my, I legit started tearing up. Like that was powerful right there, like crying, saying like he killed Glenn. Like, oh my god, Lauren Cohan, pay her money, give her the money. Like she deserves it. She deserves everything. Like she's amazing. I know there's problems right now with her contract. I think there's still problems with her, but that woman deserves her money. Like she's amazing. That scene was like great. And I don't know, a lot of the Walking Dead cast is just amazing. But anyways, that being said, moving on. That scene when Maggie crying and Michonne holding her back. I was legit on the verge of tearing up because you could hear the pain in Maggie's voice. Like it was amazing. And back to Rick's speech, I loved it. One thing that didn't really make sense to me was like Rick just slashed his throat and then he walked out and said save him, and then like 3 people ran to save Negan. Like maybe they talked about it before or something off screen, but like again, it didn't, like he just killed this dude that everyone hated, and then he said save him, and then like everybody, like 3 people, I think it was like Jerry, Sadiq, and this other guy, he ran to Negan to save his life. So I think they had to talk about it before, because if this guy's like the ultimate villain and someone, you just say save him, I think everyone would be standing there like shocked, like oh my god, like I don't know, I don't know, it was something weird, not that big of a deal, but when he said save him and like 3 people ran to him, I was like, whoa, that's kind of odd. But anyways, that's not a big deal. But what else to talk about? Let's talk about I want to talk about that thing at the end with Maggie, Jesus, and Daryl, because that is pretty whack. But let's talk about Negan, on the bed pretending to sleep, and then Rick and Michonne talking to him. I loved it when Michonne started choking him, like that, like suck it, Negan, you're everyone's bitch now. Like oh my god, it just makes me happy because for them it's been a couple months, but for us fans it's been 2 years of Negan. Like 2 years of the our favorite characters not being happy. 2 years of that. So seeing the end, it made me happy. But that being said, Negan is still kind of funny when he's like, I chose not to sleep, I can hear you, or something like that. But Negan is still pretty funny. But anyways, I loved it when Rick said, you're gonna rot in jail. I love that scene. Like, oh my gosh, straight from the comics. I loved it. You're gonna rot in jail, and I cannot wait. I wish they actually, no. I mean, part of me wished they showed Negan in jail, but part of me again, yeah. I mean, I think it would be pretty cool if they show Negan in jail. They're probably gonna show him in jail in the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, or obviously in the season premiere. It's gonna be pretty cool seeing Negan in jail. But I love that little scene. And then also let's talk about Dwight, because Daryl forgave Dwight. But he said go. And at first I was thinking that, I think he said like never come back or I'll kill you or something. I might have to go back and rewatch that because Daryl mumbles a lot, so it's hard to understand. But hopefully he's not kicking him out. Hopefully he's not kicking Dwight out like forever. Hopefully he comes back, because I do remember Daryl saying go find her when he's talking about Sherry. And he said, go find her, and then that's when he goes back to the old house and he sees a note from Sherry, and then the note says honeymoon. So I don't know if that means like go where our honeymoon was or something. I don't know what it means, but I'm excited for Dwight's storyline. I don't know where it's headed. I don't know if hopefully he's still gonna be in season 9. I love Dwight's great. And Austin Emilio, again, another great performance. When Dwight and Daryl were talking in that forest, Austin Emilio gave a great performance. The Walking Dead cast is very talented. That's all I gotta say. What else? I'll talk about Morgan at the end. And then let's talk about I think it's time to talk about the Maggie, Jesus, and Daryl thing, because that kind of frustrated me, because I think it was something that I think it was a very dramatic way. I think they really like dramatized it. I don't think it's gonna be what people are thinking, that Maggie and Daryl are gonna kill Rick, because there's no way in hell they're gonna kill Rick. But then again, I did say there's no way in hell Rick and Daryl are gonna fight. I was wrong about that. But I just don't think they're gonna kill Rick. I think they made it I think it was a very dramatic thing. They made it seem like those movies where like the ultimate villain is talking, and then they slowly show Jesus' face, and he's like, "I agree, my master," or you know what I mean? Like they made it seem like those movies, or like those villain movies or some shit. Like they really made it seem, they really dramatized it, and then Daryl coming from the dark and being like, "Yeah, we have to do something." Like they really made it seem like there's gonna be a civil war, like really. And I don't think that's what's gonna happen at all. I think there's gonna be a little bit of conflict. I think Maggie might try to kill Negan. I don't know what's going to happen. I think there's going to be a little bit of problems here and there. But I don't think anything bad is going to happen here, like to the point where the group's going to get split up. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're just really making it, dramatizing it, like I said. I said it multiple times now. But yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. They're like really making it dramatic. And I think... I don't know. I mean, I don't think anything. I don't think there's gonna be a civil war or anything. It's probably gonna be like a conflict, like little conflict here and there. I don't think it's gonna be anything worse. But Maggie, I don't understand. Okay, Maggie and Jesus. Maggie, I understand, but wouldn't she rather like? It's not like Rick. Like she's making it seem like Rick like is like hanging out with this dude in the front yard. Like he's like Rick is wrong. Like we have to show him or something like that. Like I mean, he's making that guy rot in prison. Isn't that better? Like if you hate somebody and you want them to die. I mean, yeah, die. But like if you want them to be like you want the worst thing for them, wouldn't you rather want them to rot in jail, I guess, and see them like slowly, and see them everybody, and watch them like see everyone be happy and flourish, and like them say like, damn, I was wrong about everything. Instead of like killing them. Like I don't know, I guess Maggie just wants to kill them for her own sake, or kill Negan for her own sake. But and Maggie, if I was Maggie, I would think like, you know what, Negan rotting in jail, I think I'd rather watch that than him dying. And like what is killing Maggie? I mean, I was about to say, what is killing Negan gonna do for Maggie? But it would do a lot for Maggie, I guess, herself, for herself. But let's talk about Jesus, because Jesus, I don't get what's up with Jesus here, because he said he was the one who told Morgan not to kill people if they surrender. But Negan didn't surrender. I guess Jesus wants to kill Negan. I don't know what's going on here. They really made this scene way too dramatic, and they made it seem like it's gonna be Maggie, Daryl, and Jesus versus Michonne and Rick, which I don't think is gonna happen. But if it does happen, that's gonna be fucking crazy. But that's enough for that. Holy shit, it's almost been 20 minutes. But again, it's the final review of the season, and it's sad, man. This season went by so quickly, like it's been unreal. Last thing I want to talk about is Morgan. Because Morgan, I love the interaction with Jadis. She said Anne, her name is Anne, but I don't even know to believe that or not. Like, she's been saying so much stuff. But she's talking like a normal human being, which is pretty interesting. And so obviously it shows that this whole thing was kind of like a persona. Like it was not her real, like she wasn't really a person who would love living in the junkyard. It was kind of like a fake identity. And now that her people are gone, she wants to be her normal self. I was hoping we'd get more of the helicopter, but I guess we're not. I guess when Georgie said you're not gonna see me for a while, I guess she wasn't exaggerating. We're really not gonna see her for a while. And then I liked Morgan's journey, and I'm going to talk more about Morgan in my Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 Episode 1 review, which is going to be coming out later today, so stay tuned for that. But to give you guys my final thoughts, last thing, let's talk about Father Gabriel. I love the final scene when he was like thanking God that he can see again. I thought it was nice. Yes, Father Gabriel's storyline this whole season as a whole was a bit underwhelming. But with The Walking Dead, there's so many characters and so many things going on. Sometimes I feel for the writers because of like there's so much. The cast is huge for The Walking Dead, so they have to come up with something for every character. But Eugene's, yes, not Eugene's. Father Gabriel's, yes, it was a bit disappointing. Not disappointing. I'd say underwhelming. But I liked the end when he was thanking God that he can finally see again. I thought it was nice. I thought it was really nice, and him, back in his priest suit. I liked it. But yeah, to give you guys my final thoughts to the whole, I'll make a whole season review or something like that. But to give you guys my final thoughts in this episode, I loved it. I thought it was a great end to The Walking Dead Season 8 and The Walking Dead season, like the whole series so far. I mean, not like the end, the last 8 seasons, obviously. I thought it was a great end. I love the speeches. I love the performances. Yes, there's stuff here and there with the writing that they could fix, but overall, I liked it. As a fan, I was happy, and I'm excited to see what The Walking Dead has in store for us for season 9. But that's it for me, guys. Stay tuned for more Walking Dead videos, though. The season's over, but we still got Fear the Walking Dead. Season 8's gonna be picking up, or season 9 is gonna be picking up filming soon. We're gonna cover everything, so stay tuned for more Walking Dead videos. Be sure to subscribe for those Walking Dead videos if you are interested. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and it's been All Things Film, and until next time, peace.